Hold your breath, Warriors fans, because disaster might be looming. Steph Curry, the heart and soul of Golden State, has gone down with a serious injury, and the entire NBA is now on red alert. Just when the Warriors were gaining momentum and eyeing another playoff push, everything has been shaken to the core. Can Golden State survive without their floor general? Can Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, or even Draymond Green step up and carry the torch? With the playoffs around the corner, and every game counting, the Warriors' season may now hang in the balance. One wrong move, and their title hopes could vanish. The next few weeks will decide everything, and fans are on edge like never before. It was the moment every Golden State Warriors fan feared. Steph Curry went down with an injury, and immediately the entire Chase Center fell silent. The heartbeat of the franchise, the face of the team, and one of the most unstoppable offensive forces in NBA history suddenly looked human, clutching his leg in pain. The atmosphere shifted instantly from excitement to concern, as everyone held their breath waiting for updates. And now, the Warriors' playoff hopes have been thrown into chaos. Steph Curry has carried the Warriors on his back for years. His brilliance, his leadership, and his unbelievable shooting have defined an era of basketball. But with the playoffs just around the corner, an untimely injury could not have come at a worse moment. Initial reports suggest Curry is dealing with a lower leg injury that may sideline him for several games, if not the rest of the regular season. That news alone has already sent shockwaves across the NBA and left Warriors fans wondering, can this team survive without its star? In real time, the reaction from the Warriors bench was telling. Draymond Green stood up immediately, motioning for the medical staff. Klay Thompson dropped his towel and stared in disbelief. Even coach Steve Kerr looked visibly shaken. And while Curry did manage to walk off the court under his own power, there was an air of uncertainty that hung heavy over the rest of the game. The timing of this could not be worse. The Western Conference playoff race is tighter than ever, with mere games separating the fifth seed from falling completely out of the play-in tournament. Golden State has been battling inconsistency all season, struggling with road losses and lineup changes. But through it all, Curry has remained a constant. His ability to shift momentum, close games, and dominate in crunch time has kept the Warriors in playoff contention. Now, that safety net is gone. So what happens now? The team has to regroup quickly and decide how to approach the remaining games. Can Jordan Poole step up and lead the offense? Will Klay Thompson return to his vintage form? Can Andrew Wiggins or Jonathan Kuminga rise to the occasion? These questions are now more urgent than ever. And let's not forget Draymond Green's emotional stability and leadership will also be tested in the absence of Steph. This team is full of talent, but without their general on the floor, it becomes a much different battle. During this critical stretch, the Warriors also received news about Draymond Green that added even more weight to the situation. In the same game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Green was involved in a heated exchange with Anthony Edwards, which resulted in another technical foul. Green's reputation for technicals and ejections is well known, but this time, the tension was palpable. The team already looked rattled by Curry's absence, and Draymond's fiery reaction only added to the chaos on the court. The league is currently reviewing Green's conduct, and it's possible he could face a fine or even a short suspension, depending on the severity of the incident. If Green is forced to miss any time, it would leave the Warriors severely depleted in terms of leadership and defensive presence. Losing Curry is already a massive blow, but losing Draymond as well, even temporarily, could be catastrophic for this team's playoff hopes. And let's talk about the Timberwolves game itself. The Warriors fell apart after Curry left the court. Momentum swung immediately in Minnesota's favor, and despite a few heroic efforts from Poole and Wiggins, the team looked lost without their captain. The chemistry broke down, the offense grew stagnant, and the defense struggled to contain the Timberwolves' young core. It served as a painful reminder of how much Curry does beyond scoring. His gravity, his movement, and his leadership are truly irreplaceable. In the post-game interviews, the mood in the locker room was grim but focused. Draymond Green, still visibly emotional, said, "We can't panic. We've been through this before. But yeah, it hurts. Steph is everything to us. Klay Thompson added, we just have to rally. We've done it before, and we'll do it again. This is the NBA. You've got to be ready for anything. Steve Kerr's comments offered some hope, as he praised the depth of the roster and reminded everyone of the team's championship mentality. He emphasized that Curry's status is still being evaluated and the team would take a cautious but optimistic approach. Kerr also expressed confidence in Poole's ability to carry more of the offensive load and hinted at increased minutes for Moses Moody and rookie Brandon Podziemski. But make no mistake, without Steph Curry, the margin for error is razor thin. Every game becomes a must-win. The upcoming stretch of games features tough opponents like the Clippers, the Suns, and the Lakers, all of whom are also fighting for seeding in the playoff race. If the Warriors can't find a way to survive this stretch, they risk falling into the play-in or worse, missing the playoffs entirely. It's a high-pressure situation, but it's also an opportunity. This is the moment where the rest of the team must show what they're made of. Jordan Poole has had an up-and-down season, but his scoring potential is undeniable. He needs to find consistency and confidence now more than ever. Klay Thompson, who has battled injuries and struggled with rhythm, has the chance to step back into his role as a co-leader and rediscover his deadly shooting stroke. And then there's Jonathan Kuminga, who has shown flashes of becoming a star. His athleticism, energy, and versatility could be key in this stretch without Curry. If he can elevate his game on both ends of the floor, he could become a difference maker. Likewise, Andrew Wiggins must continue his quiet but impactful play, providing defense, slashing, and reliable scoring. Let's not forget Kevin Looney, whose grit and rebounding have always been the team's unsung backbone. In Curry's absence, Looney's ability to set screens, crash the boards, and do the dirty work becomes even more critical. And on the sidelines, Coach Kerr must now experiment with rotations, adjust strategies, and find new combinations that can keep the team competitive. Meanwhile, the rest of the NBA is watching closely. Other teams smell blood in the water. The Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Clippers are all climbing, and if the Warriors can hold their ground, they could become easy prey. But don't count Golden State out just yet. This is a franchise built on resilience. They've dealt with injuries before. They've been doubted before. They've come back from worse. And they still have one of the best cultures in basketball, a deep roster of talent, and a belief system rooted in championship DNA. If any team can weather this storm, it's the Warriors. But it won't be easy. The next few weeks will define their season. Every possession, every play, every decision matters. Fans will be watching every update, every MRI result, and every Draymond Green outburst with intense focus. The road ahead is uncertain, but the story isn't over, not by a long shot.